Good evening.
Thank you all for being here and welcome. And if you're here with us for the first time, I know someone is here with us for the first time in a really long time. Patricia, it's good to have you here. Please know that if you need anything, just ask the people around you. The restrooms are out in the narthex. Please use whatever you need to be comfortable. So we do this every year, this Blue Christmas service on the longest night of the year. It seems appropriate. And so I want to ask all of you to just allow yourselves to be fully here and to be in this space. The holidays have a way of pressing on our tender places, don't they? When the world sparkles and twinkling lights and fa-la-la energy, some of us are just trying to make it through. Sometimes the days are hard and we're trying not to break down in the grocery store, frankly, because there's an empty chair for some of us. There is a diagnosis for some of us. There is a relationship that is fraying at the edges for others of us. The future that feels suddenly very fragile is in front of some of us. And so every year we're intentional about creating something gentler, a soft place to land when the season feels too heavy to carry it alone. This time is envisioned around the winter solstice, also known as the longest night of the year. This Sunday, on December 21st, in the northern hemisphere, the longest night will come. It's the perfect metaphor, isn't it? The longest night, a name for that spiritual season when the lights go off and we're left fumbling in the dark, wondering if anyone else feels this way. These gatherings remind us that we're not the only ones. Tonight, the lights are low. That is on purpose. There's room for silence, for breath, for music, for ritual, for lament, and for prayer. As Mark Vroegop writes, think of lament as the transition between pain and promise. Let me say that again. Think of lament as the transition between pain and promise. So here, in this place, you can be right where you are and come to this time just as you are. And to remind us of that, we're going to sing, Come Just As You Are.
Please join me in our call to worship. Even through the longest nights, we keep vigil. And if you will respond, we keep vigil together. When days are long, we grow weary. We keep vigil. When we're running out of hope, we keep vigil. When peace feels like a pipe dream, we keep vigil. When joy seems like a luxury we can't afford, we keep vigil. When the world is more full of hate than love, we keep vigil. When we're desperate for God to be with us, we keep vigil. Let us keep vigil, for God is surely with us.
words of prophet Isaiah announced the arrival of the one who will establish peace, justice, wisdom, right thinking, and right behavior as the governing principles for our lives. That principle will rule over the earth and endure forever. This is good news indeed. No wonder the angel announcing Jesus' birth belted out their joy in song. God is bringing forth a time where suffering and sorrow and pain will be no more.
Yet these days that we live in are not marked by these future promises. Instead, we know sorrow. Instead, we know confusion. Instead, we know loss. And there are times that we feel overpowered and overwhelmed as we fumble our way through the darkness. And yet, the light of God still finds us all. Through the friend that checks in on us, the hand that reaches out, the moment of beauty that speaks peace and life, the sense of belonging we get every once in a while. And again, we see the wisdom, as Leonard Cohen writes, there is a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
We don't know why things work this way. We just even know on the longest night of the year that God's light can find us, even in our fear, in our loneliness, and in our overwhelm. God's light can find us. Even when we are deep in grief, God's light can find us. Even when we ache for all that will never be, God's light will find us. Join us as we sing, Come Just As You Are.
Come just as you are. Hear the Spirit call. Come just as you are. Come and see. Come receive. Come and live forevermore.
It's unfortunate in our culture that being broken is thought to be a bad thing. It's unfortunate that when we have cracks, somehow that's not okay. And it's so interesting because it's not this way in all cultures. And it's certainly not that way in God's culture. Because, grace has a way of finding us. Because cracks only mean that God's light has to find it so it can shine through the crack. If you look at this jar that is on the screen, you can see that it's cracked. This might be a cracked jar that none of us would actually put in our house, or we would say it is somehow defective, that it's obviously been dropped or broken in some way and it's cracked. But look at this picture. The next one. Look that when you put a light in there, it looks like a completely different jar, doesn't it? Light doesn't avoid broken places. It seeks them out. I think one of the hardest things about a life of faith, or even our contemplating the idea that God looks for us,
and seeks us out is that in order for that light to shine through us, we have to be okay that sometimes we're broken. But we're always trying to be so zipped up, aren't we? We're always trying to look right, have it all together, pull it all together so that everything appears to be fine. And honestly, our culture often encourages it. They want us to be zipped up, and they want our grief to happen quickly and move on. They want our relationships that are broken to somehow just be patched up and we move on. And a lot of the time, we do that, don't we? We zip it up and we forget that it's actually those broken places where the light shines through. You know why? Because when we are broken, this is something that Father Henry Nouwen wrote about. He called it the wounded healers. Because he said, when we're broken, when we get cracked, that then when we come back to the world with our cracks, we are humbled and we're much more compassionate with other people. Because now we can step into their broken and cracked places and say, I get it, I understand. It sucks, right? It's not easy. And so this empathy and compassion actually comes from our cracked places. So even if that world out there often encourages us differently, I hope that we'll at least take tonight to know that cracked places leave us open for the light to shine through. Grace will find us. The light of grace will find us. And I don't know about you, but I am encouraged by that. And on the days when I don't think that God can quite use my cracks, I just have to keep praying. Grace, find me. Grace, find me. Because I might not be able to zip it all up today. So grace, find me. So whatever tonight is hard for you to carry, and I bet every person's got a little something. Even if it's, my dad's been gone 27 years, but he loved Christmas. And so I always think about him more at Christmas time. So there's a little crack in my heart that he's not here at Christmas time. But that light of who he was can now shine through. So whatever cracks you have, I hope you'll celebrate them tonight. Be in them. Don't try to zip them up. It's not necessary because look, a thing of beauty is waiting because grace will find you. So I invite you into this time of ritual. We always do this at Blue Christmas where we want you to be the service, not us. We're just trying to get you ready. But for you to participate in this so that some of the healing can happen and so that you can experience that grace will find you.
So as we move into this time of allowing you and helping you to acknowledge and to name your sorrows and your pains tonight, we invite you to get centered. And to begin that, I invite you to join with me in prayer. Oh God, help us name what is at the core of our sadness and our loss tonight. Speak in the stillness, in this stillness as we wait. And God, we ask that you comfort us as the truth of our pain and our hurt surfaces in us. And I invite you to join me now in a breathing prayer. If you'll breathe in slowly and then exhale. And as we do that, inhale, saying, God, show me what is hurting. And exhale, I am waiting and listening. Again, breathe in, God, show me what is hurting. And exhale, I am waiting and listening. God, show me what is hurting. I am waiting and listening. So we invite you to do that now just on your own. Continue breathing in and breathing out, repeating and asking God to show you what is hurting and to wait and to listen. And as you continue to do that, when you feel ready, there are some clipboards with paper. And if you'll take those and then write or draw something on that paper that represents or names the sorrow that you feel tonight.
The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, the more I love you. I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming. The more I seek you, the more I find you. The more I find you, Lord, the more I love you. And I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. This love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming. I wanna sit at your feet, drink from the cup in your hand, lay back against you and breathe, feel your heartbeat. 'Cause this love is so deep, it's more than I can stand. I melt in your peace, it's overwhelming. Oh, your love is overwhelming. There's nothing like, nothing like, nothing like your presence. There's nothing like, nothing like, nothing like your presence. There's nothing like, nothing like, nothing
Perhaps one of the hardest parts of dealing with sorrow and pain, even after we've named it, is sitting with it. Sitting quietly. Sitting even when it is heavy. Staying present even when it hurts. Sitting so that God can wrap you up and offer you comfort, the comfort that you long to experience with God. So this evening, with your slip of paper, we're going to invite you to do a couple of rituals here at this table. We have here scarves that you can choose one of those scarves and wrap yourself in it. We have chairs all around the sanctuary where you can go and sit quietly and be wrapped up as you hold on to those things that you have written. You can also come here and grab a piece of sea glass. Sea glass is quite amazing. It was just a plain piece of glass not long ago, and then it got broken and tossed over and over and over again until there are some parts that are smooth and some still a little rough. I'll invite you to take one of these and hold it in your hand and feel it. Allow that glass to remind you of what it feels like when things might smooth out, but also the rough edges, because that represents the pain and the heartache that you've written on your paper. Above all, we're going to ask that God come near during this. There are also on the table some half sheets that have the lyrics to the song in a prayer that I'm going to sing for you as we do this. Take those back to your seat and read through those. Take them home and continue to read through them, because this song just asks for God to hear my heart. So please come as you feel led. Sometimes I feel no one's ever been in this place before. This is hard, and I'm not sure that I can do this anymore. I know someday I'll look back and all this won't seem real, but God, right now I need you to show me how I feel. When there are no words, no prayer that I can pray, hear my heart. When I don't have strength to try, and I've cried all I can cry, hear my heart. 'Cause you know every tear and every doubt I cannot speak. You know all the ways I need you and all the ways I'm weak. I'll be quiet so you can hear my heart. Every now and then I
I recall a simple phrase or melody. It comforts, it quiets, lifts me up, and then it carries me far above the pain and hurt I think will never end. The song speaks words I cannot, it calms the fears within. There are no words, no prayer that I can pray. Hear my heart when I don't have strength to try, and I've cried all I can cry. Hear my heart, 'cause you know every fear and every doubt I cannot speak. You know all the ways I need you and all the ways I'm weak. I'll be quiet so you can hear my heart. Oh, I'll be quiet so you can hear my heart.
How wonderful that even in the longest night, even when the darkness is here, God's goodness runs after us. God's goodness calls us God's own and calls us beloved. My friends, we have sat with our sorrows. We have sat with our pain, and now we have moved to the part of the service where we get to release and heal our sorrows and pain. There's a beautiful practice that comes from Native American communities that is done with sand. What they would do is the tribal leaders would utilize a symbol of their faith. It could be from nature, it could be from animals, it could be from their own spiritual practices, and put it on a canvas, a piece of fabric. And as the tribe named their hurts and pains, it was believed that if they placed that pain on the symbol, and the symbol would absorb it, and that would allow healing to take place. So we will ask you to name your hurt and place it on our symbol. So tonight, we invite you to come forward and come over to my left and your right. And you have a slip of paper that you wrote your pains and sorrows for this year or throughout life. And we ask you to come by the fountain or by the vases right here and watch your pain and sorrow dissolve in the water. So come here and name your pain and sorrow, and then come to the canvas where we have a beautiful image of stained glass that we are going to paint together with sand. You can use as many colors as you like. You can paint multiple different areas of this. And as you release the sand onto this image, name and release your pain and your sorrows. So as you feel led, please come forward. these words. Life will surely break us and leave us shattered like glass that has been too long in the window. Love will surely break our hearts and leave us drained like a bottle that has been emptied of its water. Disappointment will surely trample our belief in goodness and leave us worn down like sea glass that has been tossed and turned for eons. Death will surely visit our lives and leave us startled, like the striking of lightning against a storm glass window. Still, with every particle of shattered glass, there is an opening that allows the light to shine through. With every empty bottle, there is the possibility that it can once again be filled. With every broken piece of glass that has been tossed around by sea, there are new colors that emerge. And with every splintered window that has been surprised by lightning, there is refracting light that creates a rainbow of promise. We were never meant to be unbroken. Can I say that again? We were never meant to be unbroken. We were meant to be the vessel that the light can shine through.
The Navajo Indians practiced this particular healing ritual, and they used different spiritual forms and impressions and symbols as a way to say that those things we believe in can absorb the pain. And so we have used a symbol that is part of the Christian faith, which is this stained glass window. And this represents all of the pain and sorrow and challenge that we need to have absorbed tonight. But look, every part of your pain and sorrow and brokenness, the light can shine through. If only this was a lesson we could learn, that we weren't meant to be unbroken vessels. We were just meant to be vessels that the light could shine through. And so every broken piece and every shattered moment that makes up who we are leaves a place for the light to shine through. And that is our hope. It doesn't take away the pain. It doesn't magically make it disappear, but it does leave us hope that the impressions of our pain leave a crack that the light can shine through. This is our hope for all of us tonight. And so, even with our cracks, we leave tonight vessels that can carry the light. And so we're going to sing Carry the Light together. JT's going to lead us.
I will carry the light like a candle that shines in the night. I'll be a beacon that's burning bright. I will carry the light. Please rise in body or in spirit. I will carry the light like a candle that shines in the night. I'll be a beacon that's burning bright. I will carry the light.
So as we leave tonight, let us take our sorrows and our pains and all the cracks and carry the light of this season. May it be so. Amen.
Amen. see you. I'm glad you're doing. You hear it? Hi there, Ken. Lovely to meet you too. Welcome back.
I'm sure you miss your mama. I do. I understand. I get that. So glad you were here.
Thanks. I'll see you Sunday.
Okay. Ooh.